Okay, so today and 2 weeks late, we are building a huge train cargo transfer thingy majiggy. Um, Basically, you saw me lining the crane and now just working the train platforms, and I ended up using a bunch of invisible train tracks to make the whole area of this complex be like uniform and be on the same height because like train tracks are slightly elevated. um this is the connection to the highway, so basically I'm just trying to sort out the mess that I started up in the last episode, and this complex is my first big project around this industrial area, basically. Um, it is close to done, but is not completely finished. There are a few more touches that it requires, and the area around it is not completely polished. I just got really tired, and then I had to travel, so um, it's basically done, but it would need some more work. Maybe I'll do it off screen, maybe I won't. I'm not sure. But the main area and the main complex is done. And basically, I just want it to be like a super cargo area, like trains come in, then the huge cranes are like either putting trailers and containers on the train or they're taking them off, and then they're stored in these platforms on the side of the rails, and then they get picked up by trucks. And yeah, that's basically what I was doing. So lots of props, lots of assets. um, I tried to make it look active, but not that everything is just packed full, because that's not realistic either. I really like it. I worked hard on it. Many, 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 many hours. Many iterations. Many, like, oh, this doesn't. Okay, so basically, what I'm showing you right now is this technique that, because I downloaded this mod that allows me to just build any way you can see it, and then I can build stuff on top of other things even though there's collision. So I built a road on top of the train tracks, and it's functional. So this truck is actually driving on a road, but that road is on a train platform. So this way, trucks will actually be moving around on this area that, according to the game, is just a huge train station. So there shouldn't be any vehicles on it, but because of the no collision mod that I downloaded, I can do that. And it lets me do a lot of crazy, beautiful, wacky shit, and I love it. And I'm very happy that I put in so much time into making those trucks drive there, because I think it would look amazing once trains start coming in and like stopping, and you'll see trucks and trains and there'll be lots of movement, and I think it would look amazing. So I'm very excited about that. Um, so yeah, um, more assets being placed, and this is a factory. So I'm imagining this is a very old factory that used to be around this area before they turned this whole, before they expanded this train station and made it a huge like complex for cargo loading and unloading. So I'm assuming this old factory was just kind of here. You'll see later when I detail it, maybe there's some kind of like natural resource that is buried right next to it, and that's why it was here. And then they just expanded the train next to it. This is another trick that I do. So I use this fence and then I stretch it this way. You see that it like, if you stretch it long enough, it removes, like, basically I use this fence to create a fence and then a gate. So it's like open. So if you can see, the reason why I think it looks like a gate is because this stretch that is not connected is longer. And you see me playing with the length, so it will remove that middle post, you see? Like that. And then it's like two big doors, two big gates that, like, if you close them, then the gate closes. Um, that will all get removed. This is not how it stays, but it's just like a cool trick. And someone wrote in the comments that they like learning the techniques that I'm using, so I just like slowed down the gameplay so I can explain it a bit. So that's what that is. And I use that with a bunch of different fences, but specifically with this one because it just looks very good with it. Um, this area with these parking spots, don't get used to them because I change all of them. So you just be patient because it would all be different soon. Yeah. And now you can see me changing them. Um, I liked this better. There's a huge problem with this game that, like, I have a lot of assets that I adore, but they disappear if I go up too much in height. So they don't render. And it really sucks because I like that my details are seen from far away. So, like, what's the point of detailing an area if when I zone out, you can't even see it? This is a traffic island I made by myself just because I have a few traffic island assets, but none that were that specific size or shape, so I just made one. Yeah, and this is where we put the fence earlier, and now you can see it's not here anymore because I'm changing it all up. Yeah, this area will become like an eating court for the employees of the complex, basically, of the employees of this train track station. Train track station? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not I don't have a license. I've said this before, so I'm not great with the road detailing. So yeah, that'll just have to do. Some vending machines. Love the vending machines. Oh my god, they're so fun, so cute. This is the food court I was talking about. Um, it's for the employees mostly, but I'm sure some weirdos park in this parking area and like come and eat at that truck station. It's for food truck, food van, food whatever. It's burritos. Doesn't matter. Um these little cute bins are just a pathway? No, not a pathway. A path point? A way, a thingy to make the trucks go where I needed them to go. So they'll ignore them. They won't stay, obviously. Um, yeah, I'm pretty proud of the whole project. It took a really long time, and I put a lot of work and a lot of time conceptualizing and thinking what's appropriate and what will be where and how would it look and all of that stuff. So, like, even the imperfections and stuff that I was willing to like look past, I just I think I did a good enough job, and I like it a lot. So I hope you'll like it too. Lighting was a nightmare on this project. A really cool thing that I did is that, like, the as you can see, like, there is a crossing here on the train tracks. So there's the road that the trucks get on, and there's an actual crossing between the road and the tracks before they get into the station, which I think looks really good and makes a lot of sense that, like, if you're going to be expecting cargo trucks to be driving across like your train tracks, then it would be safe and they wouldn't get stuck and stuff like that, because this is a huge station and you can't afford having like gigantic trucks with containers on them, like a few tons worth. Like, just getting stuck on the tracks. So yeah, um, lots of detailing, lots of forklifts and assets, and yeah, it's. I think I think I did a good job if I do say so myself. And it was not that easy thinking, how do I make this look interesting and original and like figuring out different types of cargo and where would it go and how would it look like and what should be covered, what shouldn't be covered, what should have like a roof on it, what shouldn't. That's another cool trick. I use this fence and then I just delete the posts and it makes it look a lot more industrial and chain linky. Um, with the post, it looks a lot friendlier, but this way it looks pretty industrial, which is exactly what I was looking for. Um, yeah, and just putting on assets and making sure things are full but not too full. And again, ramps because I'm expecting like trucks and little vans and little cars to be all over the place, picking up cargo, putting on cargo, waiting for the trains to come and carry it away and such. So that's all what's that here for basically. Um these train stations platforms that I used that are elevated, they had like little railings at the end, so I was trying to cover them because they didn't make sense as platforms. Um, yeah, and I really like this forklift asset that it's raised so it looks like it is in the middle of work. I also found cranes that are actually moving, but I love the cranes, the big cranes that I ended up using, the yellow and the blue ones. So I'm happy that I went with that, but maybe another project I'll use that other crane that like full on moves, and then there'll be even more movement, which is pretty cool. Lots of fencing, lot of making sure that things seem safe and reasonable, and making sure that the floor doesn't look brand new and that things look the part. As much as I know how the part looks, considering that I am not an expert or anything of the sorts, you know? But yeah. Um, yeah, what else? This is I ended up also doing like it was a long time ago, but I also made a turnaround track. So trains will also use this as a terminus. Can you hear the emergency car? I'm not home and where I am, it's like near a hospital and there's a lot of emergency vehicles. It's not fun. It's not great. So yeah, these I use to cover the ends of the crane tracks because I feel like there should be something substantial there because there's a few ton worth crane that like slides there. So I assume there'll be like a big thing to stop it. I don't know. And these are the lights that I ended up using for the tracks. And I used 15, like, I counted 15? No, I counted 25 on the spaces between each of these. And then I just lined them all across the tracks to make it symmetrical. Not all of them are perfect, but I did my best. And yeah, so there was that. Um, and just making sure there are lights everywhere, more scattering of assets, and later on we're gonna make another parking lot on like the other side. Um, I really enjoy taking empty trucks and putting assets in them to make them full. I just think it's really fun, and I don't know, it's cool. I wish I have smaller assets so I could do it more, but I can't really, but it is what it is. Um, Lighting is such a bitch. I swear to God, like I'm not an expert and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just like, this probably makes sense, right? This gate is how you get in from the other side through the parking lot. So basically, employees can either park at the main building parking lot, or they can come around the back and come in through this little gate. Um, Again, there's another small building facility here that trucks can go through. And so, yeah, it's like it's not just one way to get into this area. And I really like how it's all very connected and very just, I don't know, it feels real, or it feels like it's not ridiculous. I don't know. That I maybe I lack any experience or ability to know how things actually are in real life, so it feels like it could be real. But yeah, I'm just gonna like let myself live in the delusion, I guess. Um yeah, and you can see the track again, the connection point there between the road and the train track. Um, this is the natural resource I was talking about. I don't know if they're like mining it here or they're sorting it here. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just here for the memes. Not the memes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Cars, parking lots needs cars. No parking here because there's a ramp there, and we might want to get cars through that ramp into that gate, as you can see. So that's what I did. It's not super realistic, but that was the best I managed to come up with. Um, this is the side road. I really like how it looks. Unfortunately, the plants I put don't render in distance, but I plan on putting a lot more trees around here, just not at this point. I think we're almost done. Yeah, amazing. Okay. Thank you. Bye.